Um, since it's 9:30 and we're recording this, I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about what we're going to do today. Um, so those of you that may not know, my name is James Maloney, and Julius, can you also wave? Julius Sue is there, and Julius and I are the two put our heads together to create Skies with this awesome team that's also with us today. You'll see Ami, wave your hand, Rachel, and Carla. So we have a lot of support and exciting things to share this morning. So we want to dive right in, and I'm just going to go over a little bit about what we're going to do today. And so let me try to share my screen. Hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to get things started and then welcome Principal Yom, who we have from Berendo Middle School, to say a couple words, and also Rene de Leon, who's a principal at Hoover Elementary School. And I asked these two principals, I asked them to please come and speak today because they have a couple of things in common. And they also, one is elementary and one is secondary. And Skies is a program that is used from 12th grade all the way down to kinder. We started off in grad school and undergraduate and then high school, and we kept trying to make it more and more useful. And Julius and his team tried to make it easier and easier to use until we got down to kinder. And the reason why I asked Principal Yom to speak today was because I really appreciated when Principal Yom took over Berendo Middle School, that he really wanted to see whether or not Skies was something that they should keep around, because during the pandemic, you probably saw like a million different programs. And after the first year, Principal Yom really emphasized how Skies sets itself apart because of not only the tool, but the support that comes with it. And so I asked him to share. I really appreciate what Anthony's doing at Berendo, especially with the math and his math team that has adopted illustrative math. And Rene de Leon, is special because Rene de Leon has had the Skies record for several years now. And that record is the most amount of teachers using Skies daily at his school. And at Hoover, it is essentially 100% of the staff that use Skies regularly with their students in an interactive way. And the way that De Leon did this was by modeling how Skies could be used by a principal, and he used it in his PD, and he also used it like a teacher with his students. I'm going to play a video from him, and you'll get to hear him kind of make a comment about that, which I'll point out afterwards if you missed it. One thing we were excited to hear about Hoover this year was that they had the highest test score gains for their demographics and everything, both in math and in ELA. And so it's exciting for us to see where we have the most amount of teachers adopting Skies and using it regularly, seeing like the strongest correlations with test score data. So after our initial remarks, we're going to hear from Julius, the other creator of Skies, and also the founder, the one who initially had Skies was his brainchild. And when I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, I think this could really make a difference. And so Julius is going to share his latest, things he's excited about that they've done with Skies. And after that, we're going to jump into breakout sessions. And so if you are a secondary teacher, I would encourage you to check out Kate Song Kate used to be the science chair at Santa Monica High School, or Samo High. She's now at Castaic High School. And I really appreciate Kate Song because of how focused she is on like rigorous lessons and rigorous grading, what in LUSD we often call mastery or equitable grading. And one thing I also really like about Kate Song was that Kate Song made use of a lot of Google materials. And when she started using Skies, I didn't know this, but she would always survey her students and ask them, what do you like better? And then she would share the results with me. And I was so happy to see that students really felt more organized and more supported by their teacher with Skies than compared to like just Google. And so I really love seeing teachers like Kate making use of these Google resources and taking them to the next level by allowing students to really interact and get the support they need. And I think that what Kate's going to be sharing, even though her experiences in science is applicable across the board. For you elementary teachers, we have Alex Seraphin at 10th Street. Alex is one of our top Skies experts, always keeping us in the loop about ideas and ways we could try to make Skies better or to reach more schools. And I really appreciate that Alex knows how to get a lot of bang out of his Skies lessons. And when it comes to differentiating your lesson, having groups that really can function independently, Alex just has so many great ideas, like small groups, intervention, differentiation, assessments, like IABs, like all these things that you kind of have to worry about how you can use Skies to help you with those things. And we're gonna do our best to record all this and post it. So I know you can't be everywhere at once. These are all going to be at the same time. For those of you that are out of the classroom, Christina is one of the earliest adopters of Skies and started using Skies in the classroom at Sally Ride. She's at Jaime Escalante now, but Christina is one of those teachers that adopted Skies years before the pandemic and really just saw the potential to do progress monitoring and intervention. And so when she moved on to administrative roles, she continued to use Skies to make her life easy. And so, I know a lot of you have been doing a lot of PD this week. Thanks for being here after all that. Christina was telling me how she was doing all that PD on Skies. And so I encourage you, those of you that might not be, full-time in the classroom, or maybe know a lot about Skies and see an opportunity to help, those at your school that are in roles like instructional coaches and intervention specialists. Christina is going to have a lot of great things to share about how you can use Skies out of the classroom. And then finally, Mr. John. Mr. John is also one of the very earliest adopters of Skies. He's been an ambassador School of Global Education, one of the RFK schools for many years. And I also appreciate that Mr. John had a lot of early experience, early adopter of Google and the Google materials. And I wasn't sure if, because his, amazing technical expertise, if we would get him, on Skies. And, he found some things that Skies could do that just, opened up just sort of this creative windows. And it's, he's like a top presenter for MMED, the multilingual, multicultural education department. And they love having him speak about the Korean dual language. So he's a Korean dual language and Korean dual language teacher. And I think he just has such cool ideas, which are applicable to like any dual language. I love, like when I saw his talk title, it had the word creativity in it. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, how much we appreciate that we're getting to do this, for our profession. That, Julius and I and our team, we really want to do as much as we can, the time that we're here on this planet, to try to help teachers and help students with education. And it's so inspiring for us to get to work with all of you teachers, and with teachers like these that just tell me like, oh, you know what, I can have this creative idea, and with Skies, I can bring it to life in seconds or like a minute, and I can get better results than I would have otherwise. And that's really exciting for us. So we would just want to keep doing this forever. So I hope that gives you an idea of who you want to talk, who you want to see. At this point, it's 9:40. I would be grateful if I could pass the mic to Principal Yom, Berendo Middle School principal, and ask him if he could just say a couple words.
Thank you, James. Hello, everyone. So nice to meet you. James pretty much said everything I wanted to say, so I don't know what he wants me to say anymore, but I thought I would just share a few things. My journey with Skies for past almost 2-3 years. And I just want to give out random shout outs to Mr. John at ASGE. I mean, you don't see that many people with the same first name. He and it turns out that he has the same first name, exactly same spelling. So that's kind of cool to see. When James reached out to me about a month ago about this time, he didn't give me any script. He just wanted to purely just share my experience with you guys. So I thought I would share just few of the things that led to where we are. And I want to keep my talk very short and actually take any questions from you guys, because I think that's really important. It shouldn't be a one-way. When I got to Berendo, the first thing I realized was there were many different learning platforms, and I hope I could freely speak about other platforms. I had group of teachers using Nearpod, I had group of teachers using Pear Deck, and I had group of teachers using Skies. At that point, Nearpod was free, and I see these Skies that I've never heard of it, and then the first thing I did was I went over the budget, and I realized the Skies was paid for the whole school. But when I looked into it, and when I talked to the teachers, I realized only a handful of the teachers were using it, like literally 3 or 4. So I gave him a call. I gave James a call, and I was like, "Yo, what is this program, and why am I paying for the whole school when only 3-4 teachers are using it? It doesn't make sense." So he and I had a long talk on that day, and obviously James, being who he represents, obviously he votes for Skies. And the thing that I told him was, I mean, it's already done deal for this year. I'm going to review all platforms and make a decision on what is the platform that we're going to be really pushing for. And that was a year that we returned from COVID. And when we returned, obviously people were using different stuff because there wasn't really opportunity for us to connect a lot. And throughout the year, the single most comments that I heard the most from the students, because I love talking to our students, was Mr., because you know how they call you like Mr., right? Mr., like why are there so many different websites? They don't know the term platform. They're like, I go this teacher, I have to use Nearpod. I go that class, I have to use Skies. So that was a moment I wanted to just, after getting like multiple comments from the students, that was a moment of me and the leadership that we decided by end of this year, we should really make a cohesive decision of which platform that we should be pushing for, because I think it's very important that we should make a decision based for students' need, not for our needs. And one thing that I really wanted to make sure was students having easier time learning, accessing materials using same platforms throughout their classes, and the next year and the next year as well too. So with that in mind, I spoke with a couple of department chairs, math department chairs, English department chairs, and one thing that I learned a lot throughout that year was how important the first impression was. Many teachers weren't using skies because, for example, or Nearpod or Peridot was because they really had that first experience of what they expected it, and it wasn't really working that way. So fast forward at the end of the year, it was really a time for us to make that decision. I'm not going to go into other details, but one thing that really led us to end up trying skies for the whole school last year was the customization is one thing that I wanted to really, and I wasn't really listening to someone telling me that. I was the one who actually felt that, because I was the one who gave James a call, and I really wanted to make sure this was happening like right on the spot. So first I will give him a call. Hey, there's these couple features that our teachers are looking for. When can you get it done? Oh, give me by end of the day, or give me next day. I'll make it happen. And he'll email me promptly. And those are the things that really led us to get into the try skies. And couple like as I was preparing for this speech, I wanted to kind of like give you guys some metaphor, like what it is, what skies is in the education market. And I thought about it, and I was like, skies to me is like mom and pop store. It's, there's huge stores out there, nationalized stores out there. But there's thing about when you go to mom and pop store, like they know you, like they really know you, and they know what you want. And sometimes as soon as you walk into the store, they're like, Anthony, I got this for you, and your usual, you know what I mean? So one of the frustration that I was exploring, like Nearpod and Pear Deck, was the time. I don't have that much time, and I'm sure neither you do, to wait. Oh, let me reach out to my manager, get this done. Oh, unfortunately, we cannot get it done because blah, 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 blah. As much as I respect their policies and their, the roles, I don't have time for that. The fact that I was able to just make the request, and I'm not saying Skies did everything for me, but 9 out of the 10, it would make it for us. And one of the benefit, and I really felt this because, and I guess the one advice that I wanted to give all the teachers out here is, whatever the platform that you guys decide to use, whether this is Skies or not, make sure you guys try each platform with the fidelity, like not just saying, oh, I tried it and it doesn't, like. And one of the ways we did was I offered a weekend PD where teachers sat down for 4 to 6 hours, really learning the Skies, how to utilize this. And we used Skies to prepare our SPEC material. Now, I'm not a test-driven person, but I take tests very seriously because that's how we get judged. This past year, was our second year math teachers really using deliberately to deliver our SPEC materials when it came to the crunch time. And just in 2 years, we almost made a double-digit growth on our math SPEC proficiency. And I'm not saying Skies is the only thing. Our teachers working really, really hard behind this platform to deliver the material was, the more crucial part. But Skies definitely made it easy for our teachers to deliver this. So to sum it up, mom and pop store, customization. If you guys really want to try, I suggest that you guys sit down as a group to kind of navigate it as together to make the best decision for your students. I don't get paid to do this. I thought I'll just share a few of my insights. I do complain to James a lot too. If there's things that I'm not happy, I tell him what's going on. We talk various things. So it's not just always the positive conversation that we have, but the fact that he knows how to take the positive criticism with the good intention and actually tries to make the platform better for us. That's what I appreciate the most. He gave me a couple minutes, but I just wanted to stop right here and take any questions you might have. And if you don't feel like talking, you could perhaps put it on the chat, and I'll answer any of the questions that any of you guys have.
Thank you so much, Principal Yom. All right. Well, if anybody has a question, you just want to unmute yourself. I'll look on the chat to see if anybody's posting a question.
Right. So I'll stick around. If you have any questions, you could just message me privately on Zoom, or you could just put it on the chat, and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks, James.
And Melissa, I see you have your hand up, so we have
Okay.
one. Go ahead.
Right.
Hi, I'm a culinary arts teacher at Rialto High School in California. Well, we're all in California, maybe, right? I don't know. Anyway, do you use Sky's platform for your CTE programs if you do have CTE programs?
Yes, we do. And
Yeah.
well, actually, in Rialto, your CTE person, Juanita Chan, loves Skies so much and used it so much during the pandemic that she's supporting all of the CTE teachers. So make sure, we help you get started, because absolutely. And some of our earliest adopters of Skies were actually CTE teachers, because they have to kind of, they have some missions to include technology in a lot of their classes. And so it's a good fit, and it's really flexible because Principal Yom was talking about that customization. When you're teaching something like culinary arts and you're using kind of the latest things and kind of putting together different materials, it's nice to have a flexible program that can accommodate all that. So we'll be really looking forward to working with you this year, Melissa. Anyone else?
I tried it last year, so but I'm struggling. I'm a new teacher, so I struggle at everything I do. So I'm out of industry, so I'm kind of just learning all these different programs. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
So it seems like I have one question. How did you motivate all teachers at your school site to get involved with Skies? So I think the first-hand testimonial is really important. Me trying to persuade someone, I don't personally use Skies on a daily basis. I'm gonna be really honest with you, right? I'm principal, I got a lot of things to do. But fortunately, I had 3-4 teachers, what I call Skies expert, who really knows Skies inside and out. And what I did was I connected these teachers. Hey, and I told, I will share a few of the things. I don't know if this is the right place to say, but I connected with these expert teachers and told them, because they really believed in Skies. These 3-4 teachers were like, Mr. Yom, if you don't pay for Skies next year, I'm gonna have to pay for whatever's, right? So I'm thinking but I told them, let's say, James, it doesn't make sense for me to pay for the whole school when only 3 of you are using it. So I told them it is their responsibility to really show their teachers and get more to it. And so these teachers actually sat down with the other teachers during conference time and actually showed them. So it wasn't, the motivation wasn't coming from me, but their colleagues showing, hey, these are the things that you could do. These are some lessons that I've already used it. Just try it. And also, we have various teachers with various technology levels, and some of the elder persons just didn't want to use it because they're not about that. They were all about papers and stuff. But pandemic definitely helped us because we went digital way faster than all of us expected, right? At that point, they had to make a call, and we reached out to this Skies expert, and I asked them to, please sit down, because if you want this Skies to happen for the whole school, it can't be just me who doesn't know much about the Skies, just selling this to the teachers. So these experts sitting down with them and doing it at a small chunk, you know what I mean? Hey, here's a 3-slide lesson that you could do where you could get students input immediately, and you could give a feedback and stuff, and grade sync and all that stuff. Once you show them a couple things, and if you're intrigued, teachers start asking more questions about, can we do this? Can we do that? Yeah, sure, we could do that. Sure, we could do that. Oh, this one, let me go to James and add those features. That's how we got most of them featured. Now, mind that it was a tough journey because there were some teachers who actually tried the skies and they didn't want to do it. So it took us like the whole year to really get that. Right now, I could confidently say we got the entire English, math, science, and elective department was using it. There are some groups of teachers who are still not using it. I'm going to be very honest, but it is readily, I could justify the cost for paying for the whole schools. And ultimately, I do want to go 100% at our schools.
And thank you. And Alex, you had your hand up. Do you have a question or comment?
Yes, Principal Yom. I know Skies last year implemented this parent portal where the parents could kind of access some of the work that the students have. Have you utilized that at your school?
So if you ask me personally, I don't have a class, I haven't utilized it, but I believe some of the teachers, I think it's extremely helpful when you have a back to school night or a parent conference. That was the time for our teachers to actually show parents how to utilize this. As you mentioned, it is kind of early feature that Skies has rolled out. So hopefully that is something that we should be working towards to, like, because you know how there's only a set number of parents that show up during parent conference and stuff. So yes, but it's not quite where I want to be honest. And we're trying to figure out how to really get the words out there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thanks again, Principal Yom. I think that's great advice. And yeah, and I want to just reiterate, when at your schools, if you're trying to help your colleagues, one thing that we want to do is we don't want you to feel like the onus is on you to help get, your colleagues started, with an account and, and so I think if you kind of follow, the advice we heard and you're inspiring, your colleagues, the nice thing about Skies is you can be like, and here's James's phone number. Here's I'm going to text James right now. And here's, I think you already got an email from one of their team members. Oh, it looks like Rachel's contacting you, and we can really help them get started. And so I'm going to go ahead and play a video now, just a short video from Principal De Leon. So I'll share my screen. Okay, and just please make the comments if you're having any hard time hearing this. I'll turn up my volume.
Good afternoon, fellow colleagues. This is Principal De Leon at Hoover Elementary in LAUSD. I'd like to briefly say a few words about Skies and the role that it's played at Hoover for 5 years. We adopted Skies prior to the pandemic, and in a sense, and to a large degree, it got us through the pandemic. We hold on to Skies as it's a tool to increase student engagement. It's a tool to differentiate the learning process and the learning product for our students. We use it as a tool as it gives our teachers the ability to give immediate feedback to students. As a matter of fact, it also gives principals the ability to give feedback to our students, and they truly love it when the principal goes in there and gives them a little thumbs up or whatnot. Of course, our teachers love it because the grading process is very simple. I foresee Hoover continuing to use Skies as their support is amazing. They're continuously updating their system, and at Hoover we just look forward to see what they have to offer in the near future. So for that, I would give Skies a big 5-star rating. So thank you so much. I hope this tidbit helps. Hoover Street loves skies, and we'll continue using it.
So that was Rene De Leon. And one story I really like about Principal De Leon is that when we start working with the school, we try to get all the teachers excited about what's possible. And then every teacher gets their own personalized one-on-one. Because when we were back at Caltech, figuring out, how do we work with teachers? Teachers told us we really don't like these big rooms where like you're getting trained at the same time. And so they said, you should keep up this, personalized support. And so we also extend that to the administrators, and we tell the administration that, like theory and also our experience, our evidence shows that the more you adopt it, the more you use it in your professional development, the stronger the adoption will be with students. And so whenever I'm helping a principal with skies, I'm showing them how they can be observers, and they can see what students are doing. And Rene De Leon, he was one of the he's really the fastest principal I've ever met, who said, take me off of this observer status. I want to be a co-teacher. I want to be able to collaborate with my teachers. And so we start people off as an observer, because an observer can't accidentally mess anything up, so we that's the kind of safe way. And yeah, Principal De Leon was like, take me off of this observer status. I really want to be able to, give kids feedback. And so in the video, he made a comment about like giving kids a thumbs up. He was actually going in and also giving students feedback. And one of the teachers told him, you went in and you gave James feedback, but you didn't give Mary feedback. James was so excited. And Principal De Leon said, well, tell Mary to go back and finish the work, and then I'll go give feedback. So he was going in and actually giving like thumbs up to the kids that had done all the work. And he told me that when, they do professional development, and he's, paying the teachers to do the professional development, he just asked that it's always on skies, so that these, things that they're building for Hoover and for, the community at Hoover, and the culture at Hoover will stay around, even, as teachers might come and go. So with that, I'm going to turn over. You can see that the next part of our conference is going to be Julius speaking, and I hope that Julius's presentation will inspire you with some of the latest, and also anyone who knows of a school that doesn't have skies. I hope you will please let me know. Just either send me a message, and actually I'll put we'll put my contact information in the chat. I'm sure all of you guys have it. But this year, like last year, we're offering our free skies co-pilots again. And this year, already about half of them are gone. We have about 20 co-pilots remaining from about October onward. And so any schools that are interested in exploring skies, this is great, because you've got a few months before we would be on campus and introducing skies. And with these free co-pilots, I get to come and do a fun presentation that teachers love, and will get everyone excited about the possibility. All the teachers will have a chance for personalized one-on-one support. You'll get a chance for free lunch, and we'll support like another mom and pop place. And then after a week of getting some more practice with skies, there's actually 3 lunches. There's a lunch every other week. I come in person. Our team hosts the other 2 virtually. And by the end of the time, it's easy to make these decisions, like Principal Yom was discussing, like how many people are using it, what's the most cost-effective way to purchase skies. And so this is a real like no risk way to get a try with skies. And if any of you are thinking, how do I like tell this to my principal? I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons why principals love our co-pilots. So one of our principals last year put it this way. She said, what I love about the co-pilot is it kind of runs itself. And so principals really like that they don't need to come and bring like another initiative. They're just bringing you a tool that looks like it would be super helpful. And I think teachers really appreciate that after the presentation. They're like, wow, you brought me something that looks like it's literally going to save me a ton of time, collecting work, passing out work, a ton of time grading, giving kids feedback, a ton of time printing papers. And so the principals can just support, everyone that decides to get on board. And so I hope that I hear from some of you guys and you guys introduce me to some of the schools that aren't using Skies yet. And we'll get to work with you this year.